Hey there, it's Tyler Mason again from the Modern Insurance Store, coming at you with more advice on getting the most out of your Medicare coverage. Now, as I've mentioned before, Medicare Supplemental Plans, they are looked at as the gold standard, the Cadillac, if you will, of coverage because they're all inclusive. They make things really, really simple. But I've also said before, and will continue to say, Medicare Supplement and Medicare Advantage are not at odds with each other. They're both different ways of covering your healthcare needs. Okay, one is not necessarily better than the other. It just comes down to personal circumstance. Now, a lot of folks like the idea of a Medicare Advantage plan because it gives benefits like silver sneakers, chiropractic, dental, vision, hearing coverage, for examples. Each one will be a little bit different, so we'll want to talk about specifics for whatever's most important for you, right? But they don't like the fact that it doesn't have that all-inclusivity of a Medicare supplemental plan that just feels more convenient. It's definitely more predictable because of costs. Let's talk about getting the most out of your Medicare Advantage plan, and I'll show you how we can shorten the gap between those two options. So with a Medicare Advantage plan, here's an example of one. Okay, under this particular plan, it would have a $0 monthly premium. With a max out of pocket of $4,900. Ew, right? If we're trying to budget month over month, year over year, that can be a little bit more challenging. This part is really attractive when you look at that compared to like a Medicare supplemental plan that starts around $100 for your coverage. But this doesn't feel nice, okay? Understandable. Hospital copayment. If you get admitted to the hospital, you're looking at $295 per day for days 1 through 7. Day 8, it will cover 100%, but day 1 through 7, you're going to have a $295 copay per day. Again, doesn't work great for budgeting purposes. Outpatient surgery. Okay, majority of our surgeries that are scheduled are now becoming more and more outpatient. Doctors want to get in and take care of whatever it is that needs to be done, a knee replacement, for example, and then they want you to go home to recover, come back in for physical therapy or further checkups, but they don't want to keep you in the hospital if they don't have to. Okay, so you're looking at a $285 copay for that outpatient hospital surgery or procedure. So this would be the example of our Medicare Advantage plan. How do we shorten the gap here? Well, let's look at this step by step. So your daily hospital indemnity plan would pay you $300 per day for each day you're admitted into the hospital up to the first 7 days. Now, we don't need to extend beyond that because remember, this only makes you pay for the first 7. So you'll get a bill for $295 for that copay. But this will write you a check for $300 per day to use to pay that copay, for example. Okay, the outpatient surgical procedure. So $285 for your outpatient surgery. This will write you a check for $250 if you have to go in for an outpatient surgery. Okay, so basically makes that outpatient surgery only a $35 copay. Now, as far as your max out of pocket, there's obviously a lot of ways that you can reach this max out of pocket of $4,900. Catastrophic car accident or something like that, right? I'm not going to wish anything on anybody here, but there's a lot of ways you can reach that. A big one that's common for folks to reach that max out of pocket is cancer. It's something that tends to be hereditary, passes through the genes. It's something that can be very, very expensive. And so we can actually write a cancer indemnity plan with a $5,000 coverage. So in the event, breast cancer, for example, which is very common to run in families, right? If you know that you've got family members that they've had cancer before, you're in a high risk category for it, not currently diagnosed with it, but you're something that you're watching or monitoring, a cancer indemnity plan to make sure that we can cover this max out of pocket can be hugely beneficial in alleviating some of the stress or the concern of how do I pay for it in the event that something like that happens, okay? So this is how we can start to make these Medicare Advantage plans that give you all the other cool little benefits, those bells and whistles, feel more like a Medicare supplemental plan in the sense that it's not going to leave you exposed to a catastrophic or a huge amount of money that you have to figure out how to budget for all of a sudden. The nice thing is, as opposed to the Medicare Supplemental Plan, which, like I said, starts around $100, all of this shows a 65-year-old male, $61.20 per month for this coverage. So if you're on the fence, if you're trying to figure out, should I look at a Medicare Advantage plan, but how do I make sure that I'm not going to be stuck with all those costs, talk to me. We can look at your specific needs, your specific cases, your concerns, things like that, and we can go through one by one. Okay, so feel free. You can reach out to me here, 513-466-0209. It's my direct line. You can call or text that number. You can email me, tyler@moderninsurancestore.com. That works just as well. And as always, if you look in the top right corner, you'll see a button that says Schedule Now. You can click on that. It'll take you to my calendar. If you don't see that button, look in the notes section below. You'll see a link there that will take you to my calendar, and we can just plan a time that we can chat and figure out what your needs are and go from there. Thanks for hanging out with me for about 6 minutes here. Look forward to chatting with you in the future. Take care.